very often that a teenager is the executive director of an organization that's going to go viral and national and transform private schools and maybe hit the public sector in some way. I don't know how teens could bring this idea of Jesus to the public schools, but you never know. Maybe it's through Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I don't know. We're not there yet, but it's not often that a young man has this kind of vision. If one of your peers steps up and hits it out of the park like this, and this is who I want to introduce to you. John's had a heck of a journey. He's been a member of my youth group for a couple years now, and it's just been really special to get to know him. He is just mission-oriented. John is amazing. You know, he had a sister who was struggling with kidney disease, and he got behind the Kidney Foundation. And he started this autograph business and started relationships with professional athletes and their scouts and getting stuff signed and then auctioning off on eBay and, you know, bringing people like Pools and, you know, oh, I just said the bad word, didn't I? Gosh. Sorry about that. Bringing, awesome athletes to public places to do signings, to raise money. The guy this high school teenager generated $80,000 to the Kidney Foundation because his sister got whacked. You know, and he's like, you got what? Oh, here I come, kidney disease. You know, how cool is that? You know, and then, you know, John I don't want to steal his thunder, but he went through some of his own struggles at home and stuff, and he had the picture perfect. His mom is here, and she is a champ. I tell you what, hey, everybody, girls and guys, like any great guy you see, there's a good woman behind him. I'm going to tell you that right now. Any great guy you see, there's a good woman behind him supporting him, and in John's case, that's his mom. I mean, he's got a heavenly mother with Mary, but his earthly mother, she's a champ. And Emily Schenk is here in the back. I know she don't want no cred, but that's Emily Schenk right there. And so John's had the support necessary, but basically he had that depression stuff, and he's, you know, I don't want to steal it from him, but he's been down to darkness, okay, and seeing it amongst his peers. And it just kind of building and escalating, and the depression and the desire, you know, maybe suicide just hitting, and he just said enough, you know, and then bam, the smet, and that was the straw. That was it. He just said no more, and that's where teens emerged from. That's where this vision came from, to create this wave of leadership, of authentic leaders to reclaim. So why don't you hear from our brother and visionary. John Schenk, come on up there.
So I am excited that you guys are here today because this is something that I've seen for several years now that is much needed, especially in our Catholic schools. I'm going to give you a little background of me. I know Greg kind of gave a little bit about me, but like he said, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. 5th grade, I incorporated my first company. This company did autograph shows for professional athletes. I got to work with the best athletes that you can think of. I got to work with people like Stan Musial, Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, to name a few of the Hall of Famers. I got to work with current guys, David Eckstein, David Freese. I got to work with a whole boatload of these athletes that were so well known throughout the country. And during this time, it was really interesting because I was in 5th grade when I started this. So starting off, I'm like, oh, this won't get very big. Then the news got it, the media got it, and this took off. I'd say national media attention for this company. But a part of me felt like this isn't what I'm called to do. I felt a void in my life. Fast forward to high school. I entered my freshman year at Vianney. I was excited about Vianney. You know, it's a new start, new school. Vianney's a great school to go to. I thought this is going to be an exciting experience. I got to Vianney and I just didn't fit in right. Part of it was because of the way I thought. I thought a little different than other people. Obviously, I'm this business-minded guy. I'm not very into the school activities. I wasn't a member of very many activities. So I didn't form these relationships with my peers at Vianney. And looking back, that was a struggle for me. So my January of my freshman year, I had these 2 friends that were I was really close with. I met them on a retreat called Project Life. It was this week-long service retreat. I met them and they were just like my best friends. They were, they were really cool. They both went through a lot of suffering. They really got it. And so as I was talking to them, we built this relationship. I trusted them, they trusted me. An exciting time. Especially for me, because like I said, I didn't have many friends at school. During this time, I was going through a lot of my own struggles. And as time progressed, I realized that these these friends weren't necessarily true friends. I got a call one day from Shannon. Shannon was one of the girls I met, and she had this really bizarre family life. Her parents were both overseas serving in the armed forces. Her older sister, 26 years old, was in jail for drug trafficking. Her 26-year-old sister also had this baby. This baby was 2 years old at the time. Shannon, who was a sophomore, she's a year older than me, so she was a sophomore at this time in high school, was in charge of taking care of this kid while going to school full time. And so she calls me one day and she goes, John, I don't know how I'm going to pay for food. I don't know how I'm going to be able to feed this baby. I don't have any money. I can't work because I'm taking care of this kid full time and going to school full time. And so during this, I'm like, all right, well, I've got this business, this little business, and maybe I can help you out. So I start giving her money. I gave her about $500 to start with, and after I gave it to her, it was kind of like I felt a sense of accomplishment. I was able to do something to help somebody else, a friend. What better way to help someone than help a friend? And time progressed, and she came back to me. She goes, John, I need more money. I started to get very hesitant. More money? I just gave you $500. I just did this, and that. And this is where my doubt started to come in. And so I started doing investigating, and I found out that the money that I gave her didn't actually go for the food that she said she needed it for. She needed food, there was no doubt about that, but she didn't use the money for that. She made the choice to use that money for drugs. Now, I didn't know she even did drugs. This was a new development for me, so as you can see, I was crushed. I'm like, I just gave this girl all this money, and she's using it for her own benefit, where she could get high. And it was really just a hard time. And my other friend, Tori, like the two of them were kind of like, they're like sisters almost. So they took each other, it's like those two against me almost. And it was a really just bad time. And so I felt like, okay, I've got no friends now. I've got the supportive family though. My family's always been very supportive of me. They've always been encouraging me to do my entrepreneur stuff. My mom's like my secretary, my cook, my chauffeur. She's a little bit of everything. She wears like 30 hats. And so she's been very, very supportive of this. And and so I was going through this support. I didn't feel like I could talk to them. I didn't feel like they would understand because after all, I was a freshman in high school. And I didn't have that friend that understood either. I needed a friend that could understand. That's what I enjoyed about my relationship, my friendship with Shannon and Tori. They understood what I was going through from the suffering of it. So January, my freshman year, I'm pacing my room. I'm like, all right, well, I got no friends. I've got a supportive family, but that's not, I want friends. That's what I wanted. I have this business, and this business is successful, and that's where my passion was at the time. I still felt empty. I didn't feel like I had everything that I didn't feel like I was doing what I was called to do. January of that year, I attempted suicide. I ended up in Highland Behavioral Center, which is a place that you go when you attempt suicide or have thoughts of suicide. That's where you end up. And I ended up there, and it was the worst time and the best time of my life. I was in there for about a week and a half. This place is, I don't know, I hope nobody here's been there, but it's a crazy place. Like, you don't get shoes, you don't get either wear their clothes, so I can hang myself with my own clothes. It was just a really bizarre situation. I had no communication with anybody from the outside. When signing in, they asked me, do you want a Catholic priest to come talk to you? You're Catholic. At this time, I didn't really understand the faith. I'm like, Catholic priest? Well, I guess. If there's one available, you can send, and if not, oh well. A few days into it, a priest comes and visits me. And I was excited because I didn't have any communication with anybody outside of this place. So this was my source for information that was happening outside of there. And so I was really excited because I just got to talk to somebody that knew what the heck was going on outside of Highland. He gets there, and it's this old chaplain for St. Anthony's Hospital, and he goes, John, why don't we, we're going to have a confession.